what mainstream archaeology suggests. And they said, well, can you show us anywhere else on
But
the planet?
hunter-gatherers were around 10,000.
But an archaeological, like a structure, a monumental structure. But in 1993, Göbekli Tepe was suddenly discovered, and mainstream archaeologists agree that this is a minimum of 12,000 years old.
Which is the same age as the Sphinx.
Yes. The ancient stone complex unearthed in southeastern Turkey, known as Göbekli Tepe, contains the world's oldest known megalithic structures. With monoliths weighing up to 10 tons and sophisticated carvings, experts say that only an advanced civilization could have built it. But according to mainstream historians, the world's first true civilization, the Sumerians, did not arise until thousands of years after Göbekli Tepe was built.
One thing that I've been working on very intensely over the last 30 plus years is the concept that globally civilization goes well back before 5,000 years ago. This started when I started pushing back the age of the Sphinx based on the erosional features and the geological features that were incompatible with the arid conditions at the present day. Then we had Göbekli Tepe, and that site goes back well over 11, 12,000 years ago.
Göbekli Tepe became one of the most important archaeological sites in the world. These limestone pillars are up to 18 feet high. They're beautifully dressed and smoothed. We've never seen work like that from that period before. And the geomagnetic analyses that have been done of what's under the surface seem to indicate that there are at least 20 major circular structures in this mound. And so far they've dug up to half of them. But there's still an awful lot of work to go.
These early sites go back to the end of the last ice age. We now know, based on a lot of geological data, that there were incredible climatic changes at the end of the last ice age. There were well-developed cultures, I believe probably around the world at this early period.
Okay, but when you talk about something like ancient healing, and we discover that Lister discovers bacteria, cleanliness, why didn't they know that 4,000 years ago?
The key tenet of ancient astronaut theory is that we have lost knowledge. We are a civilization with amnesia. We don't know our past.
Somebody explained to me, and I know a little, but not enough, about practical knowledge in ancient times that is unexplained.
The key tenet of ancient astronaut theory is that we have lost knowledge. We are a civilization with amnesia. We don't know our past.
That's true.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. What traditions say all over the world is there have been civilizations before us that have risen and fallen.
Don't forget that the planet is 4.5 billion years old. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
This solar system has been here for 4.5 billion years.
Mm-hmm.
And humanity, as far as we know, has only been here for a few thousand, maybe tens of thousands of years.
Yeah.
So what happened before that? And we know from the fossil records that there were many mass extinctions. So who's to say civilizations don't rise and fall for over
But the mass extinctions, the archaeologists know what those mass extinctions were and what was alive at that time and what almost petered out. I mean, it's there in the earth.
But there were civilizations. That came and went.
Well,
Part of it is that it's how we look at the past, and modern archaeologists are just assuming, it's an assumption. Well, they're from the Stone Age. They don't have electricity. They don't have machines. They don't have heavy equipment. They don't have power plants and things like that. But that may be completely wrong. The evidence is there that in ancient times they had electricity. They had batteries.
Well,
Look at the Baghdad battery.
Yeah.
they had batteries.
In 1938, the director of the National Museum of Iraq discovered in the archives terracotta pots and copper cylinders that may have been used as galvanic cells. nearly 2,000-year-old devices, called Baghdad batteries, are believed to predate the invention of the cell battery by more than 1,000 years.
Usually a Baghdad battery would consist of a clay pot, and it would have an iron rod surrounded by an asphalt stopper. And you pour any type of a weak acidic liquid in there, wine, grape juice, vinegar, and with a voltmeter, you can consistently get about 4 volts with something about that large. Now, all over Egypt, we see large vials, which could be a representation of a much larger Baghdad battery, being able to generate a much larger current.
Mainstream scientists agree that the Baghdad battery is evidence that ancient people had the means to create power and the understanding of how to apply it. Might our ancestors have possessed other advanced technology?
So today there is a carving in Egypt at the Dendera temple, and it's in an underground crypt, and it's this depiction of what looks like, archaeologists refer to it as a snake and a lotus flower. But what's so interesting is the hieroglyphics that have been translated not only say that what is depicted here is dangerous, but also it is the bringer of light.
Wait a
And
minute. So the hieroglyphics warn you, but also say it's the bringer of light.
Yes.
So that wants you. It's both stay away and come.
Well, and the
It would be
hieroglyphics
electric
show
energy.
a
What?
detailed drawing of the equipment.
The reliefs that have become known as the Dendera bulbs are carved into the walls of a 4,000-year-old temple dedicated to the Egyptian sky goddess Hathor. Within the temple, Hathor is depicted sailing in a ship of eternity along the Milky Way. Ancient astronaut theorists suggest that this is, in fact, a representation of an extraterrestrial arriving in a flying craft. And the Dendera bulbs are a technology they gave to the Egyptians.
The reason why we have proposed that in Dendera we have depictions of light bulbs is because you have that cable coming out of that lotus flower